Hello guys, this is ROC Rebar Coupler company. Today we are going to look at rebars and compare them in more detail in each country. What comes to your mind first when you think of building? There are wooden buildings, cement brick buildings, and steel structures, but most of them are reinforced concrete buildings, such as apartments, offices, and commercial buildings. So I'm gonna talk about rebars, which are the core members of reinforced concrete structures, and in more detail, rebars used in each country. Rebars are not always used alone. They are used with concrete because rebars are weak in compressive force and strong in tensile force, and concrete, on the other hand, is weak in tensile force and strong in compressive force. So when you use together, they compensate for the disadvantages. When a building is shaken by an earthquake or typhoon, the rebars act as a framework for the building and prevents it from collapsing easily. But there's one of the most important reasons why rebars and concrete can be used together, which is that they have the same coefficient for thermal expansion. The coefficient of thermal expansion is the amount that all objects change in volume with temperature. Since rebar and concrete have the same thermal expansion coefficient, they can act in unison and be used together in buildings. But in fact, the probability of having the same thermal expansion coefficient is very slim. So looking at this, reinforced concrete is also called a gift from God. Now let's compare rebars, which are the core of this reinforced concrete, by dividing them into shape, specifications, and strength. When the rebar was first released, it was circular and had no bumps like ribs. However, to improve the adhesion of concrete to the rebar, there are bumps on the rebars, which are called transverse ribs and longitudinal ribs. The shape of ribs are different from country to country. So let me introduce the representative shape first. The first is the bamboo-shaped rebar, which is often found in Korea, China, and Japan. The second is the fishbone-shaped rebar. It is easily found in the US, Europe, and the Middle East. The third is an X-shaped or diamond-shaped rebar, which is often seen in the US. In addition to this, the shape of rebar can be formed in various ways because there is no problem if the angle is more than 35 degrees longitudinally based on Korean standard. For your information, ROC's one-touch rebar coupler is designed to be compatible with all shaped rebars, including the above shape. The shape of rebars is different for each country, but the standard called nominal diameter is also different. So let's see how the size rebars differs for each country. The rebar rolls the circular round bar to form a ribbed rebar. Here, the nominal diameter means the diameter of the round bar before rolling. Most of the rebars in Korea and the US have similar nominal diameters, so they are compatible when using rebar couplers. On the other hand, in Europe, some sizes are compatible, but there are the bars that vary slightly, such as D14, D20, and D28. For your information, although not in the table above, Japanese rebars have the same nominal diameter as Korea, and the shape of the ribs is bamboo, so they are very compatible with Korean rebars. I will compare the strength of the rebars by dividing them into yield strength, which is the point where plastic deformation occurs, and tensile strength, which is the maximum strength before rebars break. There are relatively many types of rebars in Korea. First of all, they are divided into general rebars, welding rebars, and earthquake-resistant rebars. The most commonly used rebar is general rebar, and the strength is divided into SD300 to 700, SD400 also called HD, SD500 also called SHD, SD600 also called UHD are used in most construction sites. Here, the numbers 4 to 600 after SD represent the reference yield strength and equal to minimum yield strength of rebar. The standard for tensile strength is 1.15 times the yield strength for SD400 and 1.08 times the yield strength for SD5 and SD600. In the United States, rebars are not separated for welding or earthquake resistance, but only for difference in strength of regular rebars. The tensile strength and yield strength are slightly different, but when you look at the compatibility with domestic rebars, the standard is grade 40 is SD300, grade 60 is SD400, grade 75 is SD500, grade 80 is SD600, and lastly grade 100 is SD700. In the United States, the most commonly used rebar types are grade 60, 75, and 80. A relatively simple standard of strength for European rebars species are formed like Korean SD400 to 600 and have the same reference yield strength. Tensile strength is divided into A-type, B-type, and C-type. In order of 1.05 times the yield strength, 1.08 times or more, and 1.15 times to 1.35 times the yield strength. So we compared various types of rebars in terms of shape, size, and strength. I hope you found it useful, and I will be back with more interesting topic next time. It was ROC One-touch Rebar Coupler Company. Thank you for watching this video. If this video is interesting, please press like and subscribe.